Grace and Gritters, family, friends, and new listeners, and new subscribers. That's right, we are up to 22 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer to our goal of 100 for a face reveal. With that in mind, I'm planning our first audio only live show sometime in February. I'm going to do it on a Freestyle Friday so we can get that vibe going. And I'm super duper excited. So keep a lookout for updates and a confirmed date on when that's going to happen. By the way, I have a poll up about Throw Together Thursdays. Just getting all of you guys to weigh in your thoughts after the first episode. It took a lot to put it together, which I am happy to continue to do. But if it if it's just not helpful or enjoyable, I don't want to take time away from other things to put towards that. So we can always leave Thursdays open for something different in the future. We can always pivot or change the lineups. I mean, this this is y'all space too. So y'all go to the post section and vote because right now it's a 50-50 split. Yes, I love it. Keep it, or no, share recipes on Facebook. My only problem with that is even though our Grace and Grit Facebook page is live, we don't have any followers. So there's really nobody there to share recipes with. So that could be a pickle too. Okay, so if you are a member on Patreon, then you should have gotten your promo code for your exclusive Patreon member promo code for discount on merch. Uh, and that's for free and paid members of Patreon. But as I said in your newsletter that came out, all of your remaining extras, I have not forgot about that, guys. I made a plan, I announced it, I want to include it, and I will have it to all of y'all by the 31st. I've kind of already included a bunch of it on posts and stuff for y'all to go grab, but I will make sure I have the rest of it. 31st would be Saturday. I'm not looking at my calendar. But by the end of this month, you'll have all of it, and I'll do better next month, okay? And if you're not a member of Patreon yet, go check it out. There's options for free members and paid. So your levels are like free, $2, and $5, okay? And the paid levels and tiers will have more access to like behind the scenes info, pictures of my hobbies, crafts, cakes, stuff like that. And you can also get a sneak peek of me before the face reveal. Anyway, just go check it out. Facebook and Instagram are live and available for follows there. And as soon as I have some followers, I'll start making some daily posts, updates, some jokes, some recipes, just some casual stuff to keep you in the loop. More of the kind of behind the scenes freestyle kind of thing. I mean, I'll also link all of our videos and things like that, but it'll just be another platform for additional information than what YouTube allows me to share. So, I had a question sent and asked if I had a secure place to receive gifts. It was actually phrased, do you have a secure postal address to where we could spoil you? Um, so right now I don't have that. The best way to spoil me, I guess, would be buy me a coffee or support my channel through PayPal or Patreon or things like that. I'll link the coffee and the other PayPal links below. But the best and free way and the fastest way to spoil me is seriously you guys to like the videos, share the videos, and subscribe, because that tells YouTube, hey, people are watching this, people are enjoying this, and it kind of helps spread the word so we can have more people find us and grow our community. Now, I completely understand that sometimes you want to support your channels in a different way, because let's say you've already subscribed and you like everything and you share everything, so you're already doing those things and you just feel like you want to give a little extra support, especially right now when we haven't reached the progression point to where we can have members on our channels or like super stickers and things like that. So I totally understand it, and I will definitely look in to getting a secure postal option. I probably honestly won't go crazy with that until our channel does grow a little bit more, because I've heard from other YouTubers that it kind of gets pricey for me, as far as like a lot of people will send stuff but then require the recipient to pay the postage. And I'm not rich, guys, and I'm not doing this to become rich. So that's kind of my holdback on something like that. I'll have to do a little bit more research, but I will definitely look into it. So I had a few emails come in this week, and I'm going to share what I can from them. But first, I want to tell you this: I will not, under no circumstances, share your personal information to anyone on or off of the podcast, ever. I'm not going to share your email. When you email me, I don't even have to acknowledge or share what you've sent to me on the podcast. So if you want to send something and it be between me and you, I can do that. Consider it sealed. Just do me a favor, and if they are going to be private emails like that, if in your subject line you will put private, that way when I'm going through to pull these things for Freestyle Friday, I don't have to click on every one of them and then see what I can or can't share. If all of it is private, I won't even click on that when I'm pulling for Freestyle Friday. Also, if you only want me to include certain things. So I've gotten a few emails where it's like, I don't want to be named, I want it to be anonymous, but this is the part you can share. I can do that. I've been doing that. So it's not a big deal at all. You just have to make sure you let me know what can be shared. So the best way to do that is to like break it up. Like, tell me what you want to tell me and then skip a line or something and be like, this can be shared. And then put that part at the bottom or something. Just let me know what can be shared. I will never ever share your email. I'm going to repeat that a lot. I'm never sharing emails. The only thing I would ever share to acknowledge, such and such viewer has sent me this, would be like a screen name that you give me or you provide me, or like a first name that you give me or provide me. I'm never going to share like your full blown government name or your email to everybody or anything like that. I will not do that. And that goes for Facebook too. If you send me a message on Facebook, I'm not sharing your Facebook profile. I'm not doing that. I respect my privacy and I also respect yours. And this is a trust thing. I want you guys to know that this is a safe space. I'm not going to take advantage of you or anything like that. So if you send me a message and you're like, hey, I want to share this, but you don't give me a name to share with it or anything like that, the only thing I'm going to share is that message you told me I could share. So if you're asking about, why do Skittles have only this many colors in the bag, that's all I'm going to share. I'm not going to say so and so at email this at Gmail or Yahoo sent me this. I'm just going to say we had a question from a viewer, like that. So if you want to send an email with something to share, anything like that, only if you give me permission. So let's say your government name is Sarah. Okay. But you send me an email and you're like, you can say this is from Betty. Well, thank you, Betty, for sending in your question this week. That's how I'm going to do that. Okay. So, and I will not spam your email. To be honest, I probably won't even reply just because I don't want it to feel like an invasion of privacy. The only reason I would ever reply is if, like, you sent me an email and only part of it is to be shared, and I have a question and need clarity on what I can share. I may send you like one back that's like, is this what I can share? And I need a yes or a no or what have you. If I don't receive anything back from you, I'm not sharing anything because I don't know what permissions I have. Does that make sense? Clear as mud, right? But again, I'm not going to take your email and start sending you a bunch of junk stuff. I'm not doing that. My email fills up with a bunch of junk stuff too. So I'm not that. I'm not that. No way. The only emails that you're gonna get is like if you are a member on Patreon, you will get some emails about notifications, links, newsletters, those kind of things. So keep that in mind when you're signing up for Patreon. If you don't want that, do not sign up because you're going to get them. But maybe you don't want to send an email because you don't want your email out there. You can comment here, or you can post something on the community post, or you can send me a message on social media, or even through Patreon as well. And I encourage you guys to send me questions, comments, or maybe you want to give someone a shout out. Nothing mean or rude, but I have no problem being like, happy birthday to Kathy from Joanne. Also, don't know who Kathy is or Joanne, totally made up. Don't know if it's their birthday. Just an example. But this is a shared space. This is for all of us. So maybe you got a question and you want to be like, how the heck do I get grass stains out of a uniform? Girl, send it to me, post it in the comments. We're all here for you. Or like, have you ever ate frog legs? Does anybody know what movie that came from? Comment below if you do. And also, there was a slide earlier, and I forgot to mention it because my brain works like that. Comment where you're watching from. I would love to know where everybody is watching from. But we can all answer stuff in chat. Or maybe you need prayer. You don't have to tell me what's going on. We can do an unspoken prayer request for a viewer this week. Everybody remember to keep them in your prayers. Or if you want to get personal and tell us what's really going on, we could be like, pray for Sally Mae. She got a full schedule this week and she needs some strength and peace. Again, disclaimer, I have no clue who Sally Mae is, but I wish you the best. We got you back, Jack. My mind just went blank. Oh, dude. Okay, so I was in the store today and I picked up some oh, what are these things? I call them certs, but they're like breath savers. But anyway, I seen them in the store and I was like, oh my gosh, I just immediately went back to like childhood. So I grabbed some, okay? I opened them up, put them in my mouth, and it took me back to being a little girl in church. And I could literally hear the preacher preaching, the smell of the church. I could see the pews, everything. And it's just so crazy how little things like that just immediately transport us back in time. It's crazy. I have a very quick story for you guys. Okay, you ready? A duck walks into a bar and he asks the bartender, y'all got any duck food? And the bartender goes, no, we don't have any duck food. You need to go. Leave and don't come back. Duck walks out of the bar. Next day, Duck walks back in the bar. He asks the bartender, y'all got any duck food? And the bartender's like, no, I've already told you we don't have any duck food. You need to leave. And if you come back again, I'm going to nail your feet to the floor. Duck leaves. Next day, Duck walks back into the bar and he says, y'all got any nails? And the bartender just looks at him. He's like, no, we don't have any nails. What are you talking about? And he's like, Duck goes, okay. Y'all got any duck food? I just thought that was funny. I had to share. Okay, so we're going to move to our viewer question, comment, things like that, and shout outs. I don't have any shout outs this week. Oh, I just lied. Yes, I do. I'm going to shout out Neil McCoy. Do y'all remember who he is? Does anybody follow him? I do. I got that joke from Neil McCoy. So, thank you, Neil. I have loved you since the shake. I love you still today. But thank you for the joke. All right. So, the first this is the only email I'm going to share with us today. I answered a couple questions from a couple more. So I'm going to read it and then we're going to talk. All right. As a mom, I'm tired all the time. Literally. My complaint? Quit telling me I look tired. I know this. I feel this. I feel it. I don't need people to tell me how tired I look. Also, the circles and the bags may be hereditary, so just chill. Grown people telling grown people telling people how tired they look is not a compliment. It's one of those if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all moments. Step in my shoes for a few days and then let me tell you how tired you look. I really do try to give grace, but when that's what you say every time I see you, ugh, just zip your lips already. And then we continue. There is a saying: the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. She says, I feel that. Am I the insane one? My children? All moms? The world we live in? You can't change what you don't acknowledge. So I acknowledge and embrace the insanity daily. Okay, so this question came in earlier this week. And although it was sent as just a talking point, like a something for all us moms to vent about, but it stayed with me like all week. I kept going back to it over and over again and rereading it. And I didn't realize until I was getting everything printed out and ready for Freestyle Friday that it dawned on me like why this is getting getting to me. Why is it sticking with me? Well, because for me, it was more, it is more than a vent worthy subject. Oh, I can vent on it. But it affected me more deeply and way more than honestly that I realized. So before I do the snappy comeback vent with you, I kind of wanted to jump on my soapbox for a minute because I really felt like I should address this on a more serious level because I know I can't be the only one that this hits on a deeper level than just a simple vent session. So, I want to start with the quote about insanity: doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We are not insane. We are tired from carrying responsibility that requires constant emotional awareness. When our days are spent regulating and anticipating needs, holding space, and staying steady so that others can feel safe, it's exhausting. And exhaustion, that's not a character flaw, it is a human response. Self doubt does not mean there's something wrong with us. It usually means we've been too long without enough support. The pattern that needs to change, it's not us. It's the belief that we should be unaffected by what we're carrying. And we don't need to question our sanity for feeling worn down by work that requires our whole nervous system. And we got to remind ourselves that there are seasons of survival that literally looks like showing up tired and choosing love anyway. And that's not insanity. That's endurance. Also, we have got to stop soaking everything up. We're not sponges in the kitchen sink. We are not Bounty, the quicker picker upper. Not everything that comes our way deserves to take root in our heart. Rude comments, constant criticism, that is not our weight to carry. That's their stuff. And honestly, they might need their own podcast to work that out. We gotta jump in somebody else's sinking boat just because they hand us a bucket. No, thank you. I have my own bucket and my own boat. You do you. I can give you the gum and see if that'll plug your hole, but I'm not wasting my energy on that. Not everything that reaches us belongs to us. Alrighty, I'm jumping off my soapbox. And you know I got some comebacks. This is more some keep the peace vibes, but I got some good ones too. Alright, so somebody tells you you look tired, or you got, uh, my mind just went blank. You look tired, you look rough, whatever, the bags and circles underneath the eyes. You can be like, I'm actually feeling fine. Thanks though. Or, it's just my face today. Or, I've learned not to comment on people's appearance, but I appreciate your concern. Or you could go the positivity route and be like, yep, these are my bags of life. Or, oh, those are just my experience lines. I'm sorry you don't have any. Now, some super powerful ones. You could be like, I'm not concerned with that. Or, I'm more concerned about you. How are you doing? Or, even snappier, you sure do comment on my appearance a lot. You jealous? Or you could just straight up say, that was unnecessary. Or, I'm not interested in feedback about my face. Or just take a cue from Stephanie from Full House and be like, how rude. Guys, when gentle boundaries don't work, it is okay to be more clear and just straight up like we ain't laying this down gentle, babe. I'm about to give it to you straight. We don't have to get loud. There's you it's not wrong to set boundaries. Now we don't want to be telling people off and like getting in trouble where we need bail money. But it's alright to be like, bro, no, this is not okay. And you're not wrong for that. They are wrong. Remember that. You don't have to take crap from nobody. When general boundaries, general, Lord, I can't talk. When general boundaries don't work, sometimes you gotta step it up and try something different. Be like, I'd rather talk about something more important than my looks. Listen, you guys, you don't have to use these lines. You don't have to take my advice at all about anything. But sometimes just knowing that you have those tools in your backpack, sometimes that's enough to help you put up with it. The unsolicited criticism. Because Lord knows if they looked in the mirror, I'm just saying. But sometimes you don't need the punchy comebacks. Sometimes just stating the facts can be enough. Okay, my husband is a welder fabricator. and we own our own business, so I tend to wear a lot of hats. I'm office manager, I'm HR, I'm just everything. I'm a gopher. I am the goat. That's what I am. I'm the goat. I'm getting me a name plate for that goat. Anyway, I run a lot of errands for him because he doesn't always have time to do those things. One day I'm in the welding supply store. I've gotten everything I need from the actual store part. A couple guys behind the counter who know me and know my husband. I'm asking them if they have something. I can't even remember what it was, but whatever it is, they had to get back from the storeroom because it's not on the floor. And that could have just been because I wanted like a whole box of something because we do that all the time. We have to buy like whole boxes of things. But anyway, so the one guy goes to look to see if they have it because you know what? Sometimes they don't always have it. And the other guy's still standing there. Well, there's a gentleman, I'm being nice, there's a gentleman standing to my left. And I was like, would you like to go in front of me? Because I'm going to be here for a little bit. He went to look for something in the back. He's going to help me out. I was being polite, I'm going to let you cut in line. And he's like, he just kind of laughs and he's like, your poor husband. Okay, guys, I'm going to be honest. That's all he said was your poor husband. But it was the way he said it. And I just immediately, like in my mind, I'm like, my poor husband, what? But I didn't say that. But I took it as he didn't think I was capable of doing whatever it was he thought I was there to do. So I just smiled and very politely, sugar dripping sweet as can be, I kind of giggled back and I said, my husband is lucky because I spent the first 15 years after high school in the oil and gas industry. I've worked my whole life in pipe manufacturing and I've been around the oil field a long time. So he's lucky that I know a few things about a few things. And I know that he's super picky, and because I can respect him, he can trust me to come get what he needs. And he just kind of giggled, and the guys behind the counter was just kind of looking at me. They check him out. He goes on out about his business. I finish getting what I'm getting. And the guys behind the counter, okay, they know me, all right? They know I'm fully capable of going in there and getting what my husband needs. But they didn't look at me as like, you get him, girl. They didn't look at me like they was proud of me or anything. They just kind of looked at me like, well, who peed in your Cheerios? I probably overreacted. But I was nice, and all I did was state facts. I didn't say, who are you? You know? So anyway, I get home and I'm telling my husband, and my husband's just laughing. And he's like, I know that. I'm like, why are you laughing? This is not funny. And he's like, some people, babe, you just got to let it go. Don't let them bother you. My husband has patience of Job. People can literally disrespect him to his face, and he does not let it steal his joy. I have no idea how this man is like that. He makes me a better person, but I'm also jealous. But anyway, after I calmed down, I was able to listen to reason, and my husband was right. He doesn't know me, and it doesn't matter what he thinks. I know me. I know what I'm capable of. So don't let people make you feel like you're not worthy. You know who you are, God knows who you are, and that is enough. And that matters more than somebody else's uneducated opinion. Okay, anyway, that is enough emotional growth for today. But speaking of public places, can we talk about how weird people are in public? For real. I'm sitting in the doctor's office and some older gentleman talking at the volume of 75 tells the receptionist behind the counter who has beautiful hair in a ponytail, sweet as can be. I love those ladies. But he's like, sweetheart, don't you know how you're not supposed to wear a ponytail? And she just kind of, she doesn't know where he's going with it. Well, to be honest, none of us did. The lobby was full. And she's like, huh, no, sir, I don't. And he's like, you know what's under a ponytail? And me and my son lock eyes and we're speaking to each other in silence because He was raised old school. He knows exactly where this man is going with this now, as do I. And that man goes, raise up that ponytail, what you see. A horse is explicit. And this poor girl, y'all, she changed like 4 shades of red. And she just laughed. She's like, oh, that's funny, sir. And she just hurried up and went on about doing something else. But I thought, my goodness, what on God's green earth would make you think that that was appropriate? You don't know this lady. Like, you just embarrassed her, mortified her, and the only one that should be embarrassed here is you. People are weird. Also, this has nothing to do with anything really. But what is going on with the Dollar General self checkouts? I mean, they put them in, they made a big deal out of them. We used them for what, like a week? Now there's candy on top of them, or like sale items. We just gonna leave it there like that never was a thing? What is up with that? Okay, so I have a question and I'm scared to ask it because then I know I'm gonna have to answer it. What are we carrying in our purse or car that shouldn't be there? Remember, this may not be like a kid show, but it is a family friendly show. Let me just say it like that. All right, so in my purse, I have a pack of Reese's Pieces. I'm type 1 diabetic. I know that candy shouldn't be in there. But if my sugar goes low, I'm going to eat at least 5 or 6 of them little pieces because I have been craving Reese's Pieces like it is nobody's business. So I've got them in my purse ready. And it's cold outside, so I know they ain't going to melt. Now, my car. Excuse me. There's literally giveaway stuff in the back of my car. I mean, is it not customary to drive that stuff around for at least a week before you actually give it away? Okay, guys, I have got to go pretend I'm productive. But before I go, I have to tell you this. Okay, so the other day, me and my son were talking, and we're just talking about life like we always do. And he's like, Mom, what did you do to me? And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, you're the reason I'm like this. And I just laugh and I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I'm about to be a man. And I'm like, I know. You're growing up way too fast. And he's like, no, Mom, focus. I'm about to be a man. How come anytime I have any sort of emotion, I have to have a complete mental breakdown before I can even get over it or move on? And I just started dying laughing. And I was like, oh my gosh, son, I'm so sorry that I gave you these things. I gave you anxiety and I gave you, like, I don't even know. And I was like, I'm going to use that. And he's like, that's fine. Tell you people on your podcast because there's something wrong with me that I can't even have one simple emotion without having a mental breakdown. I said, boy, you are speaking directly to my heart. He's like, Mom, we can do this. We're going to get through this together. It's a nice talk, but I've got to get out of here. It's getting deep. And he just goes on about his business. But I thought that was like the funniest thing. And I was like, child, you are speaking to my soul. Like, I didn't even know how to explain it. And you just explained it. Like, how come I can't have one simple emotion without having a complete mental breakdown before I'm able to get over it or move on? That's so crazy. Anyway, I have got to go at least pretend to be productive today. I hope y'all's Friday is amazing. And I will see all of y'all guys back here on Sunday. You have to come back because I'm super, super excited about this one. But thanks so much for hanging out with me. This was so fun. I'll see you guys next time.